Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Why APC changed dates for governorship and other primaries. Lockdown in southeast states over Nnamdi Kanu. 47 billion naira probe. AFCC detains ex-NDDC MD Ekere. Court clears Adeleke as PDP candidate. Malame Ngige Sylvia talent soon to know their fate. More endorsements for Tinubu in Kwara and Benue. Again, Lagos restricts Okada operations in 6 councils. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, so let me take the former managing director of NDDC, that's the Niger Delta Development Commission, Mr. Nsima Ekere, is being detained by EFCC for an alleged mismanagement of a 47 billion contract awarded between 2017 and 2018. And 2019. He had gotten wind that EFCC was actually investigating him, and he voluntarily, went there, and they detained him, and they said investigation is going on as per, the accusation. But also, we remember the Accountant General of the Federation, who is being investigated by EFCC. He has been suspended. So they said the Minister for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, had written to him saying that he's been suspended. So during this period while he's being investigated, he's not allowed to come to the office or interact with staff members until this investigation is done. And we know the accusation for him is 80 billion naira misappropriation as well.
So he's been suspended without pay. And this is one of the first times we're seeing the right thing being done. Remember the NHIS boss who was suspended but refused to leave office?
Yes.
In fact, he reinstated himself. So the proper thing should be done. When the person is being investigated, step aside while they investigate you properly.
All right, the major headline. So APC changed the dates for governorship, and many of you know that according to the Electoral Act, they're supposed to submit the list of their delegates 7 days to the primaries. So they were supposed to do the primaries, I think, yesterday for governorship, but they've had to move that now to 26th. So the governorship and House of Reps, the primaries will be 26th, while the Senate and House of Assemblies will be May 27th. So they're submitting, they submitted all the names for the delegates. If you recall, they have to pick, I think, 5 delegates from each of the local governments. Now they're going to be picking 3 delegates from each local government for the presidential selection. So that's going to be happening today. So the delegates must be picked, and then they submit to INEC in view of ahead of the primaries coming up before the end of the month.
Does this postponement affect the schedule?
It doesn't. It doesn't, because INEC gave them till June 3rd.
Okay.
So everything was in before June 3rd. Okay. So as long as it's within that time, that's still good.
They're trying to avoid what happened in Zamfara.
Yeah, exactly. Where they lost to PDP. Yes, go ahead.
Lockdown in southeast states yesterday was, complied with generally, totally across all southeastern states because, of course, the IPOB leader did not get bail. And Justice Binta Yako, the judge sitting over his matter at the Federal High Court, said, he doesn't deserve bail, having jumped bail at one time, that led to a long issue about where his whereabouts and all the drama, and even, led to his guarantor, Shorty, being held to pay some fine. So she denied him bail on certain grounds and his history of non-compliance. And this led to a protest, the general sit at home in the southeast. But the issue that happened in Delta was an attack in Delta, which IPOB is totally denying. They're saying that the incident that happened in Delta where one person was killed was not by their members. People are saying they, sort of reacted to that.
Okay, well, let's move on quickly now to the Punch. APC governorship primaries. Tough battles in Oyo, Sokoto, Rivers, as 44,045 delegates elect candidates. Picture here of how community seeks reversal of Kada ban, promises Onwulu massive votes. Hemsela slits girlfriend's throat over slippers, dumps corpse. 5-year-old pupils drowns during swimming lessons in Lagos. EFCC arrests ex-NDDC boss over the 47 billion naira fraud. 727 Nigerian doctors migrate to UK in 5 months. Oh, wow. 25 presidential aspirants filled submitted forms, says APC. Anambra police warn against violence as court denies Nnamdi Kanu bail. An 80 billion naira fraud. EFCC uncovers 17 properties linked to Accountant General. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Can I do the 5-year-old pupil that
Please.
drowns? That drowned, sorry.
Yeah.
He was a student of Redeemer's school. And
Really?
the one in Ogba. The teachers had taken them for swimming at the Ivory Health Club. And it was, then he drowned. The father got a call from the head teacher to say, your son has been in an accident, he's at the hospital. He rushed to the hospital. When he got there, his son was, he met his son's lifeless body.
Oh, my Lord.
And the hospital said he was dead on arrival. So they went back to the Ivory Health Club and with the police, because he went first to Area F, then went with them to the police, to the club, with the police. While they were there, he noticed CCTV cameras, so he demanded to see the CCTV cameras. And when he saw them, when he watched, what he noticed was, first of all, there was only one caregiver.
Lifeguard, okay.
He didn't see any lifeguard. He saw one caregiver, and she kept going in and out. She didn't stay with the kids. They were in the adult pool.
Oh, my Lord.
They were by the, they were
Pool
sitting,
side.
all the kids were sitting
On the
ledge, on the edge of the pool.
Yeah.
His son fell in the first time. He managed to get himself out. Nobody was there
to help him.
That he got himself out. Another child fell in. Somebody alerted, one of her colleagues alerted, they helped that one out. The son was in the pool for 30 minutes.
Oh, my Lord. I can know. Oh.
Yeah.
30
Oh,
minutes.
Father in heaven.
You know, I didn't want to read that story because, you know, we all have children, grandchildren. So I did, but I listened to it on the radio and I said, read this story. And when I read it, I mean, the negligence. The negligence.
Criminal negligence.
Honestly.
But it has
Children, 15 of them.
Thank God he went to go and ask for that CCTV. You know, he wasn't emotional and just going to... Somebody went straight to the CCTV to go and find out.
What Wakili even mentioned was that he kept asking what happened. He asked the head teacher, asked the teachers, all those who were supposed to be in charge. They said they didn't know what happened.
Don't usually
So it took him taking the police to the hotel to find out what happened to his child.
The club.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Not
He was in
only
that pool.
her, the
He
club
said while they
itself.
were watching the CCTV, everybody
crying.
was just shouting, ha, ha, ha.
30
It was another person who is not involved, though, who came to do his own swimming, that discovered the body in the pool.
Oh, Father in heaven.
Can you imagine?
Even the what's the name of the club was negligent. Ivory Club was negligent.
You know what?
Yes, because you know when your place is hired for such an activity,
Somebody,
you provide
Lifeguards. Lifeguards.
Yes, you must.
When we are having parties, I always make sure
Every
that
year, every year.
lifeguard on
Yes.
so no child can enter that water.
Yes, and he's always there.
I can't even take any other story. This is just heartbreaking.
heartbreaking.
Let's go back. We'll break it right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to move on to the punch. Tough battles in Oyo. You have a story in Nation?
No, it's the same.
Yeah.
We are
APC governorship primaries.
You've taken it.
Oh, I've taken it already.
Yes. So it's just taking
I was going to take
There was
the
this
ban.
custom story I wanted
I was
to
going to take the Okada
I have
ban.
another.
There's another story in Hausa community seeks reversal of Okada ban. Promises on only massive votes. So many of you know that the governor had yesterday declared that Okada riders are banned in a few council local government states in Tiosa, Ikeja, Surulere, Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, and Apapa. And it was bad because, according to him, we will not continue to sit back and watch criminally minded people use that mode of transportation to penetrate crimes and criminality in Lagos. Lives are being lost on a daily basis. But the Sheikh, the Seriki of Balende, has said that instead of total ban, they should use they should get data of Okada riders in Lagos to fish out any intruder. So each community or each local government would have registered local government Okada riders, and so that when invaders come, they're able to know who is in. And according to him, they actually form a huge bundle of votes for the governor during the elections, that he doesn't want to lose out on that. Yes, sounds like blackmail. Sounds like blackmail. Yeah, but they're saying that they shouldn't do that to the Okada riders because they also vote for the governor.
One is a ban within ban, so there's an existing ban.
There's an existing ban, yes.
Most of them, I know for a fact, don't vote here. Once the elections come, it's easier. They travel back where their PVC
But you did say some of their members do stay here in Lagos.
No,
and
some of them who have become long-time here, residents here, might have their PVCs here, but a majority of the Okada riders themselves, those ones who are influxing into Lagos, don't vote here.
Let me take another story.
Okay.
So a hem seller known as Ogba has murdered his girlfriend in the Owode area of Ogun State, Obafemi Owode area of Ogun State. They say that he had asked her, they were together, and he had asked her to get him an alcoholic drink. On her way out, she wore his own slippers. She couldn't find her, so she wore his to get the drink for him. When she got back, he realized she wore his slippers and was like, "How dare you?" and told her to leave his house. He was shouting and hitting her. A neighbor said he tried to intervene, and the guy took a broken tile and threatened to hurt him. So he left them. He said he continued washing. And he now chased. The girl was begging to stay, and he ran after her, chased her into the bushes. The neighbor said he heard her screaming, but he just thought she was screaming from the beating. He had taken the tile and slit her throat.
Oh, Father in heaven.
And, you know, people in the neighborhood decided to rush to find out what they could do, and they found her dead. And he was trying to escape.
Don't you sometimes
he was
think
naked
that,
lying beside the corpse of this girl.
Don't you sometimes think like these stories, God forbid, it's you know, like it's like turn by turn, like keeps going, like just keep hearing these bad stories every single day, and we all just move on. We read it and we move on. It's such a painful thing. I mean, our hearts go out to that young girl.
Yeah. Custom stories.
Still on Punch?
Yes. The Nigerian Customs have redeployed the e-valuation policy that, you know, they call the vehicle inspection number. That, you know, the custom clearing agents are already objecting to, because this has sort of increased the cost of duty on imported cars. And, you know, last week on Monday, there was a story on how the cost of clearing of containers have increased from 600,000 to over 1 million just to clear, about 1.5 million to clear a container now because of these policies. And the custom had suspended this policy, but then they're saying they will do a sensitization today, and by tomorrow they will start deploying it.
Okay, moving on to Daily Sun. Withdrawal from elections, Buhari to decide Malami, Sylvia Ngige and others' fate today. 80 billion naira graft, FG slams suspension of arrested accountant general. Nan begs Atiku, Tinubu, other presidential aspirants to raise money for ASU demands. Lagos bans commercial rights in 6 local government areas. 2023 Appeal Court adopts measures to fast-track electoral suits. Kano loses bail bid as FG withdraws newly amended charges. Anumahi mourns as gunmen attack Ebonyi local government's home, kills 4 and sets building ablaze. Which story are we taking here?
The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, is appealing to Nigerians, especially the presidential aspirants and of the APC and PDP, and saying that if these aspirants truly mean well for Nigeria, they would, you know, step in concerning the ASU strike and the demands. They said if they're willing to put in the amount of money that they have put in to buy these forms, they should be able to come together maybe and raise money to meet the demands of ASU. That as of today in Nigeria, university and polytechnic education is paralyzed due to this ongoing strike and the tiff between ASU and federal government. And this is unacceptable. So just calling all well-meaning Nigerians to come together, especially these aspirants, and use their funds to help them. I understand their call for, you know, all well-meaning Nigerians, and especially for those who have just showed us that they can spend a huge amount of money, you know, for forms. But bailing ASU out, or is it federal government out in this case, is not the right thing to do, because then the federal government will be like, okay, why don't we leave well-meaning Nigerians to come together and be paying out what they have already agreed to do. But they're just they're quite desperate. It's months and months of, you know, them being at home.
They were going to shut down all the international airports, and they're calling on all the students of all the schools to go and shut down the airports, to a countrywide protest at the airports.
Okay. So the Ebonyi State's Ebonyi State governor has condemned the attack on the chairman of Equal Local Government Area of Ebonyi State, his country home or family home, that was attacked by some unknown men. they killed 3 of his relatives and the security on guard. About 4 persons were killed, and they set that house on fire as well. The governor has called on the security agencies to find the perpetrators of
Killed his older brother and his 2 nephews. Yes. Really sad. I was going to take the story, I mean, the ministers, Malami, Sylvia Ngige, and others who had made a U-turn concerning their political ambitions. They were hoping that the president would declare an official reabsorption of them back into but that didn't happen. So the reporters were asking that, what happened? And the Minister of Information was saying that that's for the president to do, that he would let us know if...
So it would be 2-0 if nothing is...
Exactly, but they have to be. I think it's automatic.
They didn't resign.
They didn't resign.
Oh,
well,
okay,
they didn't resign. Well, I don't know.
Okay, they didn't resign.
Because he asked them to drop their letters, right? But they didn't drop their letters.
Okay.
So if you didn't resign,
then
automatically came here. But
even if you resign, your employer can reject the resignation letter and insist on renegotiating your terms.
But if there's a silence on the part of the employer is what we're saying.
Yeah, but they never resigned.
And even the minister couldn't categorically say that they are still back.
But they didn't leave because he gave them a few days to resign.
Yeah, but they didn't do it.
If you don't resign and you withdraw your candidacy, continue your work.
Yeah.
Yes. That's how I see it.
Moving on quickly to Vanguard 2023, we are yet to zone presidential tickets as APC. Police parade kidnappers of Bethel Baptist School Greenfield varsity students in Kaduna, others. Olubadan in council lifts ban on promotion of chiefs, installation of mortgagees. IPOP to security men go after enforcers of sit-at-home orders. 2023, Nigerians need to have control of nation's economy, says Jack Rich. Finance Minister suspends AGF. Resignation, only Buhari can decide minister's fate, says Lai Mohammed. APC presidential primary, it's either Amechi or me. No contest between us, says Jigawa Governor Badaro. Finally, secession, your allegation against us is fictitious. Monologue, NEF replies presidency. Which story are we starting with?
So the Bethel School and the other school in Kaduna State. The police in Abuja paraded 31 suspects, 2 of whom are members of this gang that kidnapped students from Bethel Baptist School and Greenland Baptist Greenland School in Kaduna.
Greenfield, I think.
Greenfield or Greenland?
Yes.
Greenfield.
So
Greenfield University.
Yes.
So they confessed to being members of several gangs, and they said they worked in consensus with other gangs known to terrorize the Kaduna-Abuja highway and kidnap people there. And they said that at the time when the students from Bethel Baptist School were in their own custody, that they took, and the ransom wasn't being paid early, they took some of them into the bush, raped and killed about 5 of them, which these guys have confessed to. They also confessed to other crimes, being in possession of arms and ammunition. And I hope that since this confession, I hope it was done on record so that we don't have another rejection of the confession within trial. But I want to beg that this kind of trial should be speedy. There should be special courts. Apart from it should be quick, because justice delayed is justice denied. The longer it takes, the easier it is to destroy evidence.
Can I just say something? Because the police made a statement. They said that they have been catching bandits and kidnappers. Yeah. And then they hand them over to
the court.
Not to jail. They send them to jail. Yeah. Say how they escape, they don't know. So, but they do their own work.
Yes.
And lock them up.
It's like that, is it?
So we want to talk to prisons now.
Or
controller of prisons should let us know how they escape.
Yeah, sorry, are we taking? Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Nobody took IPOB. Okay, our last paper, Nigerian Tribune. You want to take a story in IPOB? It was in the Guardian.
I took it in the Nation.
Okay. Moving on quickly now, final paper. Let's find a story we're not taking. Police arrest 2 over kidnap of Greenfield Varsity. We just talked about that. Makinde Abdurazak flag of 76.6 kilometer Ogbomosho is saying road. FG suspends Accountant General postpones FAC meeting. APC adjusts timetable, shifts convention primaries dates. NANS threatens to shut down international airports nationwide. Lagos bans Okada in 6 local government areas. Okay, I think we've taken most of the stories across board.
No, that's the Facebook. The Minister for Information saying they don't plan to ban Facebook. They're already meeting with the Facebook team and they are agreeing to conform. And there was a BBC report that also exposed that most people sitting abroad, broadcast on Facebook inciting violence in the Southeast. And the Facebook
that's all we can take on front page review. When we return, we go go to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.